What's up, everybody? It's your boy Flash from ALWT Gaming, aka Malachi36. I'm here with Mildewy Carrot, and it's the 9-ball. Right now, you guys may not see Mildewy Carrot. He just has the ALWT logo, but it's the 9-ball. How are you doing today, good sir?
I'm doing okay. Oh shoot, I got to my lap. Yeah, I'm doing okay today.
Didn't sound too convincing there for a second.
I
Well,
forgot.
a little tired after work?
A little. I'm just trying to get. Come on. No, not the colors. There we go.
As he's getting the colors right, Mildewy Carrot, how are you doing, man? You alive?
He's getting his camera on.
Yeah.
There's that pretty face. Come back! Come back!
Is it?
I don't know why we put up with this guy 9-ball. I don't know why.
You love me, right? You love me.
I'm alive, living.
Heard that.
Extremely tired going into fall season. I feel like a bear. Just really like I just need to eat and just go and hibernate.
There you go. There you go.
Need that hibernation.
So this little bit of earlier today we had the Nintendo Direct, which depending on how much time we have afterwards, we'll talk about that a little bit. I know if he's in the chat right now, I know there's a lot of back and forth with me and Silent. Of course, obviously, all brotherly love, but there's a lot of back and forth as far as we're on different sides of the spectrum as far as what he thinks and what I thought. So we'll probably be chiming in a little bit on that, but that's only again if we have enough time at the end.
I don't know. I was getting kind of scared with that chat going back and forth.
But for the state of play though, this was one that I wasn't really I feel like this was kind of like a last minute announcement. To be honest with you, they didn't announce anything before this. They literally just announced it yesterday. I was like, hey, we're having a state of play tomorrow.
And they got bored.
I don't know. I just think that there's a couple things that I have here, and I do want to ask you guys. One, my expectations for this particular showcase, because of how it was rolled out, I'm not expecting anything crazy from this. We might get a couple of announcements here and there, maybe a couple fun ones out there, but I'm not expecting this to be like any of the Sony showcases that we had previously. I wanted to ask you guys where you're gauging your excitement at for this, but also I wanted to ask you guys, do you think that them having a state of play today, do you think that this is going to affect a PlayStation showcase at all this year or even this month? I want to start off with it's the 9-ball.
Not another state of play.
Yeah, do you think that there'll be a PlayStation showcase? Because PlayStation showcase and state of plays are two entirely different things.
To be honest, if they're doing it like this, I have no idea. They can just wake up tomorrow and just decide to do one.
And that is true. I mean, I'm kind of right there with you, but like my thought. Go ahead.
I was about to say, probably not. Well, maybe a couple months down the line, but I'm saying probably not.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat with you, except I don't think if they're not doing it this month, I don't think there's doing one this year at all. So this might be as good as it's going to get. But we'll have to wait and see. Mildew, what are your thoughts about all of this?
I mean, we kind of were saying they were going to do one, this month. They just decided to drop it right now before the Tokyo game show for Thursday. So it seems like they're trying to jump ahead of things, saying, put their stuff out versus trying to maybe I don't know, go towards after it and then say, hey, here's what we got. So I don't know if they looked at something that, maybe they saw at the Tokyo Game Show and was like, oh, maybe we just need to just go ahead and do this now versus later. So it's an interesting thing just dropping it right away, but I feel like we're probably going to get that a lot lately, because a lot of these things just tend to come either out of the blue or a lot of times the only things that I've seen so far that have a direct announcement is single icon stuff or announcement things. So certain games titles or not, but pretty much I feel like we're probably gonna see. I don't know how I feel about AAA games from them. Probably more third-party games, especially since it's coming before Tokyo Game Show. Which is kind of built around a lot of their third-party crews. So I don't know. Like, I don't know how they're going to set this up, but I don't know if they're going to do like an intro with some of theirs and then finish off with a lot of the thirds. And I don't know if they're going to be new IPs, announcements, continuations. I would hope they would do new IPs because that'd be good promoting, getting into ready for the fall season, into buying season for holidays. So, but I'm just kind of keeping an open mind here, just trying to see what they're going to do with this showcase. So what they're going to show us, what they're going to do with it, and how it's going to run.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. I mean, again, when we were making the predictions, at least all the predictions I was making was talking about an actual PlayStation showcase, not this. So I really don't know. And I think that they rumored that this was going to be like 20, 30 minutes. Yeah, I'm not expecting anything major from this. Not at all.
Normally, that's what state of plays are. I feel like it's just like a 30-minute show. Like in the Nintendo Direct, I believe was only about
40 minutes.
30, 40 minutes. Yeah. I mean, it seems to be the norm now. It's just like a 30, 40-minute quick showcase. So it feels like they're doing not a lot of talking about these games, which is, to be honest, in my opinion, it's kind of nice. I understand wanting to talk to the directors and the game developers and see what their thoughts are on it, but just showing just the games though is, I feel like, kind of more nice and gets to the point of like what the gamers kind of really want. They just want to know about the game. They want to know what's coming out. Now, if you want to do those talks about, hey, how you feel about the game and all, you can do it probably like on your own. Like a lot of these games nowadays have like their own Discord channels, or like some other site where they can put on YouTube like a little talk thing for their grouping. And I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people who'd love to watch that. But in terms of broad, full spectrum audiences, sorry guys, I hit my mic there. I feel like they just want just the details of the game. Like, let's get give me information on gameplay, story, launch dates, stuff like that. Those details. Like that's really what the gamers kind of really want when they come to a lot of these is the information on the full gameplay. Not to say that the rest of the stuff isn't good and all, but when it comes down to the full nitty gritty, they want just let's get this package, and we want the meat and potatoes of the game, and if we want that little extra dessert of the content and the behind the scenes stuff, awesome. But that's kind of like that extra discs that people would either buy or not buy.
Just having inside the post show.
Yeah,
I definitely agree with you on that. I sound like a broken record, but like I do agree with you as far as the sense of like a state of play Nintendo Direct's 30-40 minutes, but again, like that's very different than a showcase, because showcases itself are still going to be closer to the hour mark, 45 to an hour. This was only like 20 minutes, and it just buffered on us, which was kind of weird. But so I don't know. I have no idea what I'm going to be expecting from this. What I would like to see, it's not going to happen, but I would like to see it Ghost of Tsushima 2. I would like to see some Wolverine gameplay. A couple of new IPs out there that I can look forward to. Kind of give me that whole Sifu aspect or the Forspoken aspect, because those were brand new games that came out of nowhere and it got me hyped. I thought those looked really tight. But yeah, I would like to see something a little bit more like that, but I really don't know I don't know what we're gonna see. Nineball, any predictions here as far as what we're gonna see or what you want to see? He says hype building.
I have to be honest.
Can you say that again? You cut out. You're cutting out.
Oh, I have no idea what I'm gonna see. I mean, there's really no. I didn't even expect one. I knew Nintendo was having one. I didn't know they had a state of play.
That's the thing. Nintendo announced it days before, so you expected to set your time aside, go ahead and watch this. State of play was just like PlayStation was like, hey, we're going to do this tomorrow. So with that being said, I don't think there's going to be anything crazy from here. But
who knows? They might have a few surprises.
They could, and that's what will make the showcase better. But yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see. What about you, Mildy? As we go inside the last minute.
I mean, there are a lot of games I would really, really like to see and all. It'd be nice, I can't remember if Wolverine was part of this one or not. Yeah, I think it is.
PlayStation. They showed it at a showcase.
I don't remember if it was part of PlayStation's showcase or not.
It was. Yeah, it was last year's PlayStation showcase.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'd definitely like to know more about that. Spider-Man 2 rumors. It'd be nice to hear something on that one. Can Bridge of Spirits 2? If I want to shoot
that will be dope if they showed off a Can Bridge of Spirits 2. That would be really awesome.
But I've been hearing stuff I mentioned third-party games. Like I've been hearing that there's some rumors about them focusing on third-party games, maybe this one. So it'd be kind of interesting to see what third-party groups that they're talking about and trying to bring in, because there's a lot of companies that kind of went underneath the umbrella for PlayStation, but also didn't really go underneath the umbrella, but have been working with the PlayStation community, because they mentioned it, I want to say probably at the beginning when PS5 launched and all, they had that big thing where it was like, they're talking about the group work, community work that they had going with a lot of third-party indie developers and all. So
yeah, I
know that those games really aren't your cup of tea, Malachi. Nine Ball and I definitely would probably pick and choose from them depending upon what's launched and all. So, but I'm kind of just, like I said, going into this with an open mind of being just like, all right, let's see what you got. Do I have stuff I'm looking for? Obviously, everyone's got stuff they're looking for all the time. Nine Ball, Silent Hill.
It's like Tekken.
This is Tekken.
Yeah.
It looks beautiful.
Yeah.
What, Tekken 7 coming on over to PS5?
Fight.
Yeah, this looks beautiful.
Is this because they did Street Fighter?
I have no idea, man. Yeah, no, this looks really beautiful. I can't wait to play this. But I think that's what this is.
I kind of, it feels like they went back to the side scroller setup for fighting.
That's fine.
Yeah. I mean, it's fine. Don't get me wrong. I kind of was interested with the Mortal Kombat and the 3D almost environment for fighting. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Injustice used 2D side-scrolling, but also used like a switch between different angles depending upon hits on the environment.
Oh, you're asking the wrong one for Injustice.
A lot of them are 2.5D.
That's what it was. Okay.
Which is pretty cool. I mean, a lot of them go to that where you can interact with the market environment. I think a good example of a full 3D would be like Soul Calibur or Dead or Alive.
Okay. Didn't Mortal Kombat do that with their latest one? Or no?
No. They were still like...
Tekken 8! They did come out with another Tekken. But, is it side-scroller? Because that would be... No, the side-scroller, there's nothing wrong with side-scroller fighters.
It's official. Tekken 8 is coming to the PlayStation 5 console courtesy of our battle-hardened friends at Bandai Namco Entertainment. Now, let's check in on two games in development for PlayStation VR 2.
It keeps it more focused.
I know this one's not going to do anything for you guys. VR 2.
I'm not a huge Star Wars.
The story I was telling, it was about a certain droid repair tech who had no business getting into this kind of trouble. But there they were, standing against evil wherever it popped up.
I think there are a few new items on the shelves that might catch your eye.
The locals can be a little rough on tourists, but it's nothing you can't handle.
The first order on Batu. Surely we can count on you now.
Oh, hello, my friend.
Your PlayStation VR 2.
Ready for battle. Let all monsters beware. My aim
is a nice board game.
Taste my steel.
I call lightning.
Dice with cards, really? And it's VR.
Bullseye.
Yep.
Go back
VR.
to the abyss.
Yeah, it says it in the corner right there, VR 2.
You will be destroyed.
I summon fire!
makes you want to get a VR, doesn't it?
Demio brings the creativity and chaos of a tabletop RPG to PSVR 2.
Demio.
This next game is being rebuilt from the ground up and will be available outside of Japan for the first time.
I was about to say Parastone, but that's
Sonic the Hedgehog.
No, from ground up.
Sure, it's not Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah.
It's a Super Mario Brothers.
Kill.
Yakuza?
Well, it looks like Tenchu.
But it's Sega.
Oh God, it's a samurai.
If this is what's it called? Crap, Way of the Samurai. If it's Way of the Samurai, that's big. If it's Way of the Samurai.
Why is that big?
Have you played any of the Way of the Samurais?
Nope.
It's extremely choice-based. It's extremely choice-based. It's like the Dragon Age of samurai games.
Backyard. What's wrong with the sword?
No, that's not. Like a dragon. Looks interesting.
What's wrong with the sword?
He had a gun. He had a gun too.
Hello, Madam Mason? I understand you have a shop to sell.
Hogwarts, there you go.
I think you will find my terms quite generous.
Ravenclaw now.
What's
so they showed
catch?
us last time Slytherin.
You are wise.
This is Ravenclaw.
Why is your mistress selling the shop?
She has had rotten bad
Yeah,
luck.
if you like Ghost of Tsushima there, Nine Ball or Mildewy, if you guys end up checking that out, if you guys get a moment to can get your hands on Way of the Samurai, definitely check out Way of the Samurai. I think you guys will enjoy it.
could not
Sad part is I bought it a long time ago.
darkness.
I think it's in my GOG account.
And obviously, Way of the Samurai 4 is the last one. Samurai, I think Way of the Samurai 3 was the best one. If I'm not mistaken, is it a 2 or 3?
Watch your step.
So they're showing like a lot of the extra stuff.
Exclusive quests.
PlayStation.
Oh. Yeah, PlayStation 5, PS4. Available in stores and digital February 10th, 2023. We already knew that though.
So is it it's exclusive stuff only for PlayStation?
From what it
No,
sounds like,
that
yeah.
one mission is.
That's what I mean. That one mission. So they won't release it on.
Silent Hill.
Oh, this is Chernobyl.
No, this is
I was trolling.
That was so weak of a troll, even a 5-year-old could have seen through it. By the way, I don't know if you saw, but Silent says you're only in hype building.
No, I already called that out at the very beginning.
Okay. My thing's been glitching, so I gotta get more RAM into this system. We're stopping doing so much now.
I'm getting RAM that glows.
Everything's gonna be pink.
Whatever color I want it to be.
Stop that, Malachi.
Wait a minute, you may have been right.
Warning, an instability front is approaching.
It's not Silent
Immediate shelter in the
Maybe.
stabilized area. Locations impacted.
It's not even that hard to
Is this Ghostbusters?
Yeah, it's Ghostbusters. This is not Ghostbusters.
I don't know.
Maybe it's Jurassic.
If this is Ghostbusters, this is like Ghostbusters gone wild, extreme, and
Well, there's the radar that's right there, like the little sensor, but then there's also the style of vehicle.
No, that's not from Ghostbusters.
no, it's not. Yeah, that's stuff from
Flash,
Ghostbusters.
come on.
Yeah, that stuff's not Ghostbusters.
We gotta have a talk about
This is part of Chernobyl.
How did you get Ghostbusters?
Just from the look of the car.
Pacific Drive.
Oh, Pacific Drive.
All these years. Caller.
I'm still mad
I
at
don't
the
know what this
Ghostbusters.
is.
It's probably definitely some sort of like horror.
They might, yeah, they might have
game.
that High Tide game on here too.
That's definitely like a kind of like a horror spiritualistic, like hunting for the phenomenon of like some
Survive a
sort of
ride
events.
from hell in Pacific Drive, the debut game from Ironwood Studio.
Ooh.
Up next, let's check in on
Interesting.
PlayStation Stars, a loyalty
Wondering if
program
that's,
rolling out soon.
Wonder if that's going to be single player or has co-op capabilities.
Hi everyone, I'm Grace Chen. Not long ago, we announced our brand new loyalty program called PlayStation Stars. It's designed to celebrate you, the players. It will be free to join PlayStation Stars. As a member, you can complete various activities to earn points that can be redeemed for rewards. Digital collectibles are a highlight of the program. These are digital representations of things that PlayStation fans love. Today, I'm pleased to give you a sneak peek at some examples of our digital collectibles.
NFTs.
Whether it's a beloved game character or a cherished device from Sony's innovative history, there will always be something new to collect and show off to your friends.
I bet there would be.
And
for a
I
second,
have
I
more
thought it was
good
going to be
news.
like this one program
PlayStation
I've heard
Stars
about
will
where
begin
they
to
like
roll out in
download,
some regions
install,
in
and
Asia,
gain,
starting
like
in
you
late
just
September.
play games and then you
It will
earn
launch in
rewards
the
based on
Americas
like
and Europe
other
in the weeks that
stuff that
follow.
you complete in the game
That's
and
it
on,
for
and then
now.
redeem for
Check
like
PlayStation blog to learn more
Amazon
about
gift
PlayStation
cards
Stars.
and other stuff like that. I'm just like, no.
It's free to join.
That's what they always say to teach you, man. Yeah, what is this?
Zone of Enders?
Interesting. No, it doesn't look like Zone, but it could be.
No, it's...
I know what you're talking about Zone for, but I didn't give me that vibe feel of it.
It says Titanfall 3.
God, no.
No, hell no.
This is not Titanfall 3, okay?
I don't think he's being serious.
Yeah, I was about to say, I hope to God it say Titanfall. Is this Fake Push 2?
高熱圏体接近データベースにない新種のエンダーズと思われます
I can't remember that other game that was kind of like this.
迎撃システム起動強敵ではありますが我々の本気を見せてあげま
You're not talking about Pragmata.
高エネルギー反応
I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. Hold on.
He had to get thermal energy.
Oh, Snappleberries. I know what you're talking about.
He says Snappleberry.
Lost Planet.
Lost Planet, yeah. No, Planet Side.
おはようございますさあ
Wasn't that Planet Side?
No, that was Lost Planet. Was what I was talking about.
Oh, okay. I guess we're Lost Planet. Planet Side was there.
In duality. I don't know what to say.
I don't even know what that is either.
These next two intense action games are PS5 console exclusives.
Oh my God!
They are showing some exclusions. Okay.
This is Silent Hill.
그날은
Cyberpunk
갑자기
2077?
찾아왔지.
2078.
그놈들은 무자비했고
Is this that,
무력했어.
this is not that game that the team from Warframe is working on, is it?
형편없이 무너져.
Because these are exclusives. Warframes is not an exclusive.
No, not Warframe.
Soulframe?
The game that Soulframe, yeah.
No.
자이오니아, 버려진 자들의 도시지. 전성기에는
Literally just
사ys
he says Lost Planet and Planet Side were both pretty similar in theme, honestly. He's saying Deus Ex Machina.
Yeah.
Oh wait! This is that project. Crap! What's it called? Project Eve. Because when the girl with the long hair, yeah, this is called Project Eve. I don't know what's good.
Hey, he's COVID protected.
Yeah, this is 100% Project Eve. They showed this last year.
I don't remember this.
조심해 리스팅되지 않는 레이스구야 아담 뒤로 물러나
Yeah, Project Eve. I don't know if that's the actual name. It probably isn't. So we'll probably get an actual name and release date here.
Yep, it's Project E. I was just double checking. Yeah.
Like Resonant of Fate. And
kind of gives me just like with the monsters that you're fighting and all, like Bayonetta feel almost.
Also, there's that other game, Nier Automata.
Yeah, I can see kind of Nier. Really? Giving her a railgun fist? Jeez. Don't get me wrong, looks like it might be fun to play. Definitely seems like very reaction based.
Yeah, definitely. Especially from the trailer from last year. It's still called Project Eve. Oh, no, it's not. No, it's not. Stellar Blade. That's nice. A strong name. That's a strong name.
Silent Kate says, legitimately came into this stream jokingly thinking, I kind of want a high-tech ARPG, and here we are.
Yeah, kind of.
I can kind of see maybe why they kind of showing some stuff for the Tokyo Game Show, because definitely been hearing a lot of ones that are just subtitled, games.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering maybe if they were like, hey, we got just a bunch of stuff we can show too, that they wouldn't show at the Tokyo Game Show, or I don't know.
This looks like a port. This looks like a PlayStation port. Is this Assassin's Creed?
I know they
Tokyo. Yeah, it's a
I think they
the PlayStation edition.
Team Ninja though.
I know they announced another Assassin's Creed. I didn't look into it though.
Yeah, they were gonna have it in like Japan or whatever, China. But at that point, like they should have done that. I honestly think they should have done that Assassin's Creed before Ghost of Tsushima came out, because now you're gonna have a lot of people are gonna compare the two.
That's okay.
I will watch over you all.
I am like this.
As your blades carve a new future.
Last Samurai, let's go.
Your time has come. Rise as one.
No.
Rise of the Ronin.
Of the Ronin. Okay.
2024.
This isn't console exclusive.
Yeah.
Although to be honest, with what they just showed there, if they can definitely refine that,
experience an era of great change and upheaval in Rise of the Ronin, a sprawling action RPG from Team Ninja. Before we wrap up, we've got one more update for you.
All right. Yep.
God, they made this short and sweet.
Yeah, 20 minutes. God of War Ragnarok.
Yep.
I was literally just talking to Silent about this in the chat. Like, yes, I'm excited for this game for sure. Do I need to see any more of it? No. We already have a release date.
They're doing the controller for it. Are you kidding me?
Boy.
I mean, it looks cool. It looks cool. Is it really the one more thing, though? Is that really what we want?
Boy, get that controller.
I'm gonna tell you, Malachi, you may not want it. I can guarantee you there are people
no.
Like,
I want it.
Online
I want the controller. I want it. I just don't know if it's necessary in this particular... Well, now, granted, because of how big we were expecting it to be, I guess it makes sense, but... I don't know.
You said you wanted it, so...
I do want it. I do want it, but it's not like one of those like, oh my god, let me look at it.
I know you.
It's not that.
God killer. What is it you want from me?
Tear.
Is it a god of war you came to find?
You don't really want war, do you, Kratos? All that blood on your hands? On your son's hands?
What is it you will not tell me?
I can't talk about it, but I just need you to trust me.
We follow your every whim.
But you don't believe in any of it.
And still I follow. Because all that matters is that you are safe.
But that's not all that matters. Who's keeping you safe?
I do not need you to protect me.
You sure about that?
Pretender God! For the old father!
Death can have me when it earns me.
What do you even know of Godhood? In your lifetimes, has anyone ever worshipped you? Ever prayed to you? Can you even imagine that kind of love? No! You don't care about anything beyond yourself. Beyond the monster who kills without cause.
Lieutenant Fenrir?
Fate only binds you if you let it.
That was dope. That was dope.
Do what is necessary. Not because it is written. We will make our own destiny.
Oh, it looks fat.
Yeah. They talked about that. They didn't want to make him like the. Hold on.
And that's the show.
This was
God of War
during,
Ragnarok comes to
the,
PS5 and PS4 on November
War.
9th.
Yeah, they wanted to make him more like the actual mythology versus the whole Chris Hemsworths or whatever.
No, that makes sense because God of War is something very mythological based.
Yeah, I could have played Thor in this though.
I mean, if you play through the ending of the first one, you would know he's going to be in this one. I definitely think though he's going to be like final.
Mm-hmm.
Especially since this thing's called Ragnarok, I'd figure him and Odin would be final points.
All right, let me get this together, and then we will be all good and Gucci.
And I hate Gucci.
All right, and switch. There we go. So, there you go. Silence. So man, how about that great Nintendo Direct? Nah, I'd still prefer this one over that Nintendo Direct for sure. But even with this one, go ahead.
I'd have to see the Nintendo Direct. I've never seen.
I joke. Oh, let me turn this off in the background. It's still
my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis, the burning, itching, the pain. Emerge Tremfiant.
Okay. Emerge Tremfiant. All right, so that was the little state of play. Again, like, there's only so much you can really expect from getting an announcement the day before and what they showed. There were some things that did come out here that looked very interesting. Like, again, Tekken 8. Like, that looked beautiful. I want to know how it plays. I would pick it up, but I want to know how it plays. If it is a side-scroller, we're already getting Street Fighter. And I think I'm cool with... I mean, there's a lot of side-scrollers out there. There's not a whole lot of 3D fighters like Tekken anymore. And I would rather have Tekken still keep that essence of it versus going back to the 2D fighting style. That's me personally. So as beautiful as it looks and smooth as it was running and all the good stuff, I do want to see a little more gameplay to see how those fighting sequences will truly be. Rise of the Ronin looks good. That looks good. It is a little far out, 2 years later, or at earliest. But as Mildew had mentioned, is that this gives them more time to clean it up, spruce up the graphics, whatever they have to do, whatever they have to render and all that good stuff. Any bugs that they can search for, like that gives them time. So that is a plus. But that's on my list. And then Project Eve, which is no longer Project Eve. It was Stellar Blade.
Yep.
Yeah, that looks interesting. It looks more interesting to me now. He says Tekken 8 stop everything, Shaolin Keys. So let me ask you, Shaolin Keys, because again, now I do love Tekken. Is this the one though? It looks beautiful. It looks beautiful. But it looks like it was only a side scroller. And we're already getting that with Street Fighter 6. You know what I mean? So if it's going to be a side scroller, I don't really want that Tekken. But if it is going to be like how it is for Tekken 7, then yes, bring it on, and I think that that's dope. Literally Just Silence says, did Stellar's Blades get a release date? I don't think it did. Did you guys see a release date on that?
Nope.
Yeah, I didn't see a release date. Let me check right here real quick. Because I'm going to go to the PlayStation blog because they probably have it up by now. PlayStation blog. There we go. Official PlayStation blog. Here we go. Bam, bam, bam. Stella Gates. There's the Ronin one. Okay, here we go. Bam. Nope. I'm not seeing any release date.
They didn't announce anything, no.
Yeah. Yeah, it says showcase at the PlayStation Showcase back up September. That's when we first saw it, and it was known as Project Eve at that time. But there's nothing about a release date. So it looks, that one looks. I'm more excited for that one this go around than I was when I saw it at the showcase last year. Let me see.
They definitely gave you more story base in this one, with a lot of combat. So yeah, there's a lot more that you can see. That looks pretty good.
and that's exactly what I'm talking about there. So, all right, so I'm gonna get to you, Silent, in a minute, because I agree with you. I do like the hype levels, but if you're going to give me something that I'm going to have in the future, then give me something a little bit more meaty that I can have in the near-ish future, so to kind of hold me over until that point. But on here, Tekken is always a 3D fighter, so no worries, it won't be a 2D fighter, 2D or 2D 2.5D fight. That was my thing. That's kind of how they showed it just now. I was like, are they going to go the 2D route? I don't want that for Tekken. And you are correct. All the other Tekkens have never been that way. So with that being said, that does increase my excitement level for Tekken 8. But I want to make sure it's not doing the 2D 2.5D fighter. So there will be sidestepping and everything. So that's cool. That will be good. And then Silent says, that's one of my issues with these game announcements. It's always like, that looks awesome. Can't wait to play it in 5 years. Very, very accurate. Very accurate. So I'm wondering if maybe they'll show something if they do decide to go ahead and have a PlayStation showcase. Then that'll be awesome. But I don't know if they're going to actually have a official PlayStation showcase with how late we're now starting to get into the year. I feel like October is the absolute latest to when you're like, you can release something, but I think it is going to have consumers be like the people that's like us, like streaming enthusiasts and gaming journalists and all that good stuff. It is going to be like, okay, WTF, like how come you're doing it now? You know what I mean? Like November, forget about it. People are Christmas shopping, all that good stuff already. December, holiday season, and most organizations take quite a few times, sometimes weeks and months off. Not months, but like weeks to a month off for Christmas and New Year's. So nothing's going to be happening in December, and it'd be unlikely that something will happen in November. So October would be the absolute latest. But with how this is kind of going, I honestly don't, unless we get something like in the next 2 weeks, I don't think we're going to, and 2 weeks would have to be literally like 2 weeks from today, pretty much, or Thursday, in order for it to be in cadence what they have done in the past. So I don't know. Silent says, like, if they were able to be like, hey, could you play one of our biggest games ever? Let's call it Melda, and you can play it in March. I may have missed something. But the Rise of the Ronin looks great. Great. It looks good. It looks interesting. Let me say that. Rise of Ronin looks good and interesting. Tekken 8. if what Shaolin Keys inside the chat is saying is that's still going to be the 3D, then that goes from being okay to okay. Yeah, I'm a little bit more excited about that. Yeah, like I said, the Stellar Blade, that looks a lot more interesting. I do want to check that out. What was the one that was the Assassin's Creed adjacent? What was that called?
Is it Inshin, like a dragon?
Is that what it was?
There was
no. Oh, Rise of the Ronin.
That was Rise of the Ronin. Is what we said was Assassin.
Are you sure?
Yep, that was Rise of the Ronin. The other one though was Like a Dragon. Ishin, that's the one you said was like kind of like the samurai.
Way of the Samurai.
Way of the yeah, that game.
Okay.
So, but yeah, no, Ronin was like Assassin's Creed-ish. Ghost of Tsushima.
Yes.
Though to be honest, though, I feel like you probably would actually maybe consider it like a sequel point to it, and when it's really not. But the reason I say it is because it looks like it's during that era between the changing of time with the influencing of the West on the East, and that switch between the current, like, you know, the Japanese way of life to like mixing in with the Western culture and everything, like that whole like acculturation kind of occurring, because like you had that was when they started introducing the rifles and pistols to them. No, and that's what you saw the guy using was rifles and pistols. There was a lot of like tensions in that time frame. So I feel like it's kind of like, you know, a newer setup with a mixing of the old style with the new, like, you know, kind of like, you know, with the Western front and guns and all. So it's going to be interesting to see how they incorporate all of that into this game, you know.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen a game like kind of incorporate this. Like I've seen like some animes
like that. Yeah,
like I've seen like movies like where they talk about that era and all, and they have stuff set during that era, but it's like never a game. So this is kind of going to be interesting. And I think Dragon Ishin kind of has some guns in it too, as well. It looked like, so maybe they're both in that type of era.
So like that would make a good game announcement if they announced one of their longest running IPs and gave it a ton of new footage and gave it a release date. Cough Zelda. Again, no one's saying anything about the Nintendo Direct's Zelda announcement. Obviously that was hype. That was good. That's not what I was talking about. I'm saying collectively, as a whole, you have to have more good outweigh the bad.
I don't know. I think this was bad. No, I'm kidding.
No, it was. I mean, it's not. Again, it's not a super hyped up PlayStation Showcase level announcement, or even an Xbox Showcase level announcement. But it was something. It does have some interesting things here. Tekken 8 Tekken 8 was probably one of the biggest things here. I mean, obviously, God of War Ragnarok is, by definition, is going to be way bigger.
Oh yeah!
Don't give me that face, Silent. The thing about God of War Ragnarok obviously is bigger, but we knew that was happening. We didn't need to have that here necessarily. The controller, that was new, that was different. That could have been just a PlayStation blog. It didn't have to be.
No, they needed to do it like that.
No,
you need to have the full announcement.
They just needed the God of War guy. Boy, get that controller.
Well, not only that, but not only did they show the controller though, but then they went in to show more of the story.
Yeah, they compiled it well. That was if they didn't give that gameplay afterwards, then it would have just been like, all right, that's a dud. I am interested to see what that they had. I didn't need it. And honestly, I kind of wish that they didn't show me that, because some of those moments that were happening cinematic-wise probably would have been more impactful if I was playing it. It's almost like when you're seeing a movie trailer, and they show pretty much 90% of the movie, and then now you go see the movie, it's just like, oh, well, I've already seen this in the trailer. Like, I don't know. I feel like they didn't really need to bring God of War Ragnarok here. So I'm going to go through the list of games that was actually here real fast. Someone went ahead and threw it up here on an article from digitaltrends.com. The first thing that they announced was Tekken 8 announced for PS5. Just a real quick, like, little, I'm just going to have one more time. Says, I just had to get that one more jab in. You know I love you guys. Off to band practice.
Yeah.
Yep. You have band practice, my guy. Yeah. So just so real quick,
play that fiddle.
Little speed round. Who is excited or interested about Tekken 8?
I guess, but I don't really play fight. I haven't played fighting yet. I'm probably sort of excited.
All right, What about you, Mildew?
I've never been a big fighter game person, so it's okay.
Yeah, I am excited for this one. I actually am excited for this one. So I'm more excited now that I'm having that conversation with Shaolin Keys, confirming that it looks like it's going to be more of a 3D versus like how they've always been. Like a Dragon Ishin. Like a Dragon Ishin. Who's excited for that one? Mildewy? Is that I don't know.
It looks okay.
Looks okay.
I'm not gonna. Yeah, I want to see more. There's a lot of those games been blowing up lately.
Mm-hmm. It looks like it's coming out in February. It's released February 2023, so about at least 5-6 months away. I'm interested in this. I am interested in this. I wonder if this potentially could be one of those games that will be available on PlayStation Plus. We'll see. Star Wars Tales from the Galaxy's Edge Enhanced Edition. PSVR 2. Anyone excited for that?
I'm not into VRs right now, so.
Burn it with fire.
Yeah, that does not.
Kill it with fire. No. You have to kill it with Death Stars.
Damio, PSVR 2. We skipping that one too?
I mean, it looked okay and interesting. Something like maybe if you want to have like that D&D session with friends online,
that's
VR environment. But it was also kind of weird because they had cards and stuff with it too. So I'm not used to that type of aspect unless they're using the cards. It's like your spell card types of things.
It looks like a board game though. It's like a massive, like a I don't know if you ever played like Last Night on Earth or something Wicked or something like that. I have a few board games. I used to love collecting board games, but it looks like one of those. Like you would move your character, then play certain cards with them to get extra effects.
Yeah.
So to me, it looks like a massive. It would be a lot funner, a lot better if they didn't put it on PlayStation VR.
I wonder if that's part of the experience because obviously you got the haptic feedbacks and all that good stuff in that, and you'll be able to. I'm assuming you're playing multiplayer with your friends on that.
That's not an excuse.
I
haptic feedback does not give an excuse for it to be on PlayStation VR.
Yes, it does. We're going inside that Ready Player One style.
You can haptic feedback the controller right there.
Your haptic feedback.
So you're telling me if I cast Thunderbolt on you, then you're going to start spasming?
Yes.
In real life?
I will.
All right, so we're going a whole log horizon type of thing. Like, what the frick?
Don't kill me.
How will magic miss you to the graveyard?
Hogwarts Legacy is just a re-announcement, but anyone's hype level change at all, or is it still high, low?
Well, that wasn't just a re-announcement. That was an announcement of an exclusive PlayStation Quest of Haunted Hogsmeade that's coming only for people who pre-order and play on PlayStation. Which, in my opinion, F you, Sony, because I'm getting it on Steam. Because it's I'm gonna have like I want to like crank up my graphics. I want to have that beautiful rendering because that world looks fantastic. But the fact that they're like, oh, we've got our own special quest that you'll never get, I'm like, that is like, wow, like trying to buy people to your system. Like, you wave that color flag, show us what you're really about. Jesus, So no, that kind of ticked me off.
Nine-ball.
I don't know nothing about Harry Potter.
So it's a no for you.
We're gonna work on that. We're gonna work on that.
For me, like I'm interested in to see what this is like. My hype level for this game went down mainly because like I knew it was unlikely, but I was hoping that would be like a multiplayer experience a little bit. But
have they announced it? I've forgotten if they did. If there was going to be single player.
It's single player. Yeah, they announced that.
It might be something that they'll probably bring later on, like they did with
Ghost of Tsushima.
No, the 9-ball.
Elder Scrolls.
No.
He's talking about Returnal.
Returnal. Sorry, that one. They didn't bring it to later on, so it might be something they'll bring later.
Yeah, and that's a possibility. And at that point, I'll be more excited about it. But as of right now, it is one of those like, all right, this is interesting. It's cool for anyone that's diehard Harry Potter fans. I'm happy for you guys. But yeah, for me, that didn't do anything for me necessarily. Pacific Drive, did that do anything for anybody?
Yeah, I've always wanted to go through a monster graveyard. I don't even know what it is.
Yeah, I don't either.
It's right now you're just driving, trying to upgrade your car, as far as I could tell from the thing. So I would need to know way more about it.
So it's kind of like Gran Turismo, the Monster Edition.
Probably.
Well, if there's even monsters, we didn't see any monsters necessarily.
We've seen stuff, and that's good enough.
Bandai Namco announced a new mecha game called Synduality. Did that impress anybody?
Normally I like sci-fi games, but this one looks like Lost Planet or
Planet Side is what it.
Yeah.
I would actually be more into this one if it is multiplayer as well.
I thought you didn't like sci-fi.
He does.
I'm not the biggest. No, I'm not the. No, I can tolerate sci-fi. There's just not a lot of sci-fi style games and shows that I'm into. That's the thing. Horror, I just don't even want to mess with. But like, yeah, sci-fi, I will be able to do. It's just if I had to do sci-fi or fantasy, I'm going fantasy every time.
The Warhammer.
Yeah, I would do Warhammer. I would do, because like, what would you guys consider? It's not necessarily sci-fi, I would say, but what would you guys consider like Gears 5?
It's sci-fi.
So yeah, so sci-fi like, so I did like our time when we were playing Gears 5, and I wouldn't mind getting back to it. You know what I mean? Like
that is that is hardcore sci-fi.
Yeah, so I would be more in the line of something like that, and this looks like it could be one of those style games. It's not necessarily style games, but at least in that same category. It's just that when they start talking big tech talk and calibrations and all that stuff about outer space, saying we're 35,000 light years away and we have to go NPL and all that stuff, or FTL, faster than light, all that stuff. That's when it's just like, all right, now
that is going to be a good question. What is going to be the FTL style? You have hyperspace, you have the warp, Warhammer, and you've got warp speed.
No idea. And if I'm not mistaken, all of them will be faster than light, right?
No. Depends. Okay, we'll talk about Warhammer 40k speed later. How that works.
Ultimately, I do think that this is
so long as the orcs believe it, it will come true.
No, it's basically they shortcut through de facto hell to go through the next dimension.
Oh, so, I've seen. I saw a movie like that. It's like where they made a black hole to try and travel.
That's Event Horizon.
Yeah.
But the Warhammer universe, they do that all the time. They have to go through the warp, which is like full of demons and stuff, to make it to the next destination. But they have like shields and stuff for that. But if it goes out, basically demons infest your ship and you just lost.
What happened? They couldn't fight off the spaghetti monster.
What about you, there, Mildew, about Synduality?
It's looks okay, but it's probably a game if I ever picked up, it would be on sale probably.
Going on over to Stellar Blades.
I think this one actually looked good.
Bad.
Yeah.
Synduality, it looks okay to me. But
yeah, it actually looks cleaner too today. Like they definitely touched it up a bit. I am a little shocked though that we don't have a release date, and seeing that this is the second time they showed this now. Last year it looked a little bit rougher, but it looked like...
Just named it. Come on.
I'm actually looking around. I'm on the site. Are you on Hold to Rest, Malachi, or what site are you on?
I'm on Digital Trends.
Okay, I'm on a site called Hold to Rest, and they're marking 2023 for some reason.
That's what I'm seeing. 2023 as well. But I'm on Games Hub.
Oh no, it does say it's 2023. I lied. It says
so. Maybe they did. Maybe they did announce it, and we didn't see it. So 2023, then possibly.
Year.
But we've all seen this. We've gotten a year, and we get to that year, and they still push them back because. And I understand Silent's complaint about it, like, get it 5 years later, but in this day and age right now, I feel like that's kind of becoming the norm, guys. Like we're probably gonna see pushbacks because a lot of people are probably still working from home. They're still trying to get this whole thing sorted out and trying to make it to where it's fully efficient. So Cyberpunk was not done work at home at all. Cyberpunk just freaking bombed itself to oblivion because
I'm kind of surprised though. Actually, Cyberpunk has made back up its money and then some currently.
Oh yeah, it's definitely come back. It's a good game now, but the beginning point was it just hurt itself. But I kind of see. I'm hoping that they do come out in 2023, but I would not be surprised if we maybe get like say a spring 2023 release date, and then they're like, oh, we have to push it back to maybe summer or fall.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised about that. Am I hoping for it? No, never. I'm hoping for a good game and a good launch. Is what I hope for.
Stellar Blade?
Yeah.
I'm believing that it's actually coming out in 2023.
I do too, actually.
When you change the name from Project Eve to Stellar Blade, that means probably that it's further in development.
Yeah.
Project Eve is really like your brainstorming one where you just are doing like early concept art and all that.
Well, I'm not trying to say that it's not. I'm really not trying to be the true Debbie Downer here, but I'm definitely trying to be realistic because we've seen a couple of games where they have done the announcements of, we did promise this day, but we have to push it back because we feel like this needs more.
Right.
Hogwarts Legacy's done that. I feel like there's a few other that I'm forgetting the names of have done that. So
almost every game's done it.
I mean, the point in case like they pushed them back. So I'm not trying to say let's not go for 2023. I'm just going to say let's be open minded when we get there to where it could possibly still be pushed back, guys. Like what I hope for though is. I don't go by true dates until we get like towards like the very point of that date. Like if we're like a week away, they're definitely not going to be like pushing it back for sure. So I'm just saying keep that open mind and all because these companies are definitely going to try and give out the best that they can. So if they have to push it back a bit, I say let them push it back.
Yeah.
As we said, we don't want no Cyberpunk 2077 launch. We don't want none of that stuff. So
let that be the lesson for us all. Literally, we saw exactly. We wanted it, we got it, and we got it in a really piss poor way. So,
yep,
I 100% agree. Could not agree with you more.
So like I said, I'm what I hope for is a good launch of a good game. So if it's 2023, perfect. If I have to wait till Q1 of 2024, so be it.
Right. I feel like with this title, though, for Stellar Blade and maybe even Sin Duality, these feel more like...
completed.
No, not completed. But these feel more like PlayStation Plus.
That's kind of what I was thinking. I don't know about Stellar Blade, though. If it is going to be in that tier subscription, that's gold. That's good.
Sin Duality definitely feels like that, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stellar, I want to see more of before I say it might be Team Ninja. But yeah, I feel like these are going to be more down that line.
Yeah, if that happens, then that's a good one. That will be definitely good. Because again, I wouldn't have thought that, but then we went ahead and got freaking what's it called, Stray, which is a highly anticipated one on Plus. The only thing that would be against it is that if the games itself have a narrative that's long, then I don't see it being on a Plus service. Like not just long, but long and good. Like some of the narrative is of quality. Then I don't see them doing that. I think they would charge for that, but we'll have to see. Rise of the Ronin, which is the last one. I think. Am I the only one excited for this one?
No, it looks interesting for sure. I guess I just want to see more of the finished, like towards the end final product, along with maybe a little bit more story based and all. Because be honest here, who else kind of got a Rurouni Kenshin vibe when they were watching the trailer? Who else got that? So, I definitely, like I said, want to know more, especially because that ending point. I'm like, is that the ending or is that the beginning? Is that halfway point?
Yeah, that's the beginning.
That's why it kind of gave me that feel of like, if you've ever played, Skyrim, it's like, what happens at the beginning of Skyrim?
Oh my God, people are still going off about that. They said he better not start at a prison on that game.
And it wasn't you're just coming home or visiting, depending on what you chose.
The vibe though that it definitely gets, and kind of back to your point, is it definitely gives the last Samurai with Tom Cruise vibes, where it's like the industrial / Sengoku time period. It definitely feels like it's going from that transitioning where they use blades on over to guns, but the guns itself are like single fire shots and muskets and everything like that. So yeah, definitely. I'm video game wise. I've seen it in TVs. I've seen it in animes. I've seen it in movies. I have not seen it in an actual video game setting. I think the closest that I can think of, and this is I can't even say that. No, but I think like in a video game setting. Well, no, I guess the closest that I can think of that would be kind of like it is there's a video game that was on PS2 called Samurai 7. And it was that's the closest thing I could think of. But even with that, the samurais were like future samurais. So it wasn't like a true Sengoku.
Hey, it was something about that on a Samurai Warrior or something.
Samurai Warriors? I know
like
that
Dynasty Warriors.
Yeah. Well, even so, this is not like so early to where they only have like an X amount of guns and then the armor that they're wearing is like samurai armor. This is like you have the samurais, but then you have the military that's dressed in like literally like the button-up suits and stuff. You know what I mean? So it's like really, really cultural fights, if you will. So I've never seen anything like that in a video game setting before. So I am excited about that. If you guys had to go ahead and rate this particular showcase, what would you rate it on a scale of 1 to 10?
Do I have to?
Yes, you do. We have to do it for our fans, our public.
Okay. Well, thank God I'm in a good mood. I'll give it a 7.
Okay.
It had maybe a 6. It was a couple good ones, but this is one that could have waited till they got more. I mean, yeah, you got God of War, but that's gonna be at every event. Shoot, they might as well just tape that to the TVs when they send them out from Sony. Outside of that, I think the only one looking over this list here is Tekken 8 wasn't too bad. The only other one, Stellar Blade's okay. And the two Rise of the Ronin and Like a Dragon Inshin. I don't know about Inshin, but I'm more on if I had to pick one of those, I would say Rise of the Ronin look way more interesting. Because the Inshin looks kind of like Yakuza and some of the stuff he was doing. Like, some of that stuff is just like nonsensical. And you're like, oh, God, I thought it was Yakuza. But I'll give it a 6. No, I'll give it a 7. I'll stick with my 7. Be nice today.
Military?
How dare you be nice? I'm gonna channel my inner silence and say this was crap. This gets a 3. No, I'm kidding. I'll give it a 7 as well. It definitely has stuff that I feel like would interest people. It's not like the biggest like oh my gosh hype thing. It's like it's not stuff that just blew our socks off. I definitely will agree. The Ronin, Rise of the Ronin, Stellar Blade definitely look really good. Both of those definitely piqued my interest. The Hogwarts Legacy kind of ticked me off, but that's just Sony trying to be Sony. Like a Dragon Ancient definitely kind of gave me that whole Yakuza vibe thing, like kind of like Nineball said. So kind of interested, curious, but other than that, not much. I definitely feel like though I can agree that they could have waited a bit more. I don't know why they had to drop this before the Tokyo Game Show, unless because of the games they're showing here, they wanted to try and get them out because something Tokyo Game Show may overshadow them. I don't know. So I'll still give them a 7, even though I feel like they definitely could have waited and probably given us a bit more. But I mean, if this is what they got, this is what they got. We are kind of coming towards the end of the year, and we might, like I said, we might not see anything really big until maybe VGA awards or like towards the very end of the series for stuff that's coming next year or confirmed next year launches and all. So we're probably getting to that slope point in the season, and then we'll get that last big hit to then start off next year. So be nice today, like Nineball said. I'll give him a 7 out of 10.
I'm actually there with you guys. It's a 7 out of 10 too as well. It was very spontaneous as far as like how it went, because again we had no idea that this was going to happen, and then all of a sudden Monday like, hey, by the way, tomorrow State of Play, be there for that. 20 minutes of stuff that's going to be on PS4, PS5, and PSVR 2, and they gave us that, and that's kind of all it really was. It was just that. There was a couple things that piqued my interest, which is what gave it a higher score than it typically was. Had this been announced previously, very similar to a Nintendo Direct, and then I got this of 20 minutes. Like, I don't feel like I wasted my time watching this. I feel like it was a good watch. I was able to go ahead and get a couple things out of it, get confirmations on a couple other things, like the freaking Stellar Blade. I'm gonna have a hard time remembering that for a little bit. But the Stellar Blade and stuff like that, like I did go ahead and get some confirmations for that, which is good. As well as a couple new looks. Like you guys already know, I like the samurai stuff. I like the ninja stuff, ninjutsus, all that good stuff. And I am hyped for God of War, and it was interesting to see some of those cinematics. Do we really need it? No. That's kind of what stopped it from being at least a 7.5 for me, is because we didn't need it here. But yeah.
But what about the controller?
PlayStation blog. Just give me a blog and we're good.
It has haptic feedback.
Yeah, that's fine.
The design of it white and blue coloring, which fits your theme.
It actually does.
It fits your theme.
Boy, buy that controller.
But yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah, it definitely. Like I said, I had more like. In the least amount of time that I had right now, the 20 minutes, I had a better time than the 40 minutes of the Nintendo Direct watching that.
What happened at the Nintendo Direct? I want to know.
We're going to talk about it. And I think, and again, at the end of the day, full transparency, it is going to be dependent. Like, regardless of what I say, what Silence says, what Mildew says, what Nineball says, it's going to come down to you as the gamer. What do you like to play? You know what I mean?
Yep.
So
agreed. We're just biased.
Yeah. We're just kind of set in our ways as far as what we like. Again, we have one person that doesn't like fighters, one person that doesn't like racers, or two people that don't like racers, and then you got some people that don't like the fantasy style and all that stuff. But it's all over the place. Some people like puzzles, some people don't. Some people like weird stuff, some people don't.
Some like horror, some scream at it, you know.
But the thing about it at the end of the day is that, like, when I look at certain things that's announced at the Nintendo Showcase, which we're about to go over, I'm going to kind of go through it semi-quickly because there was a lot. There was a lot of games. They didn't spend a lot of time on the games, which is a good thing. But at the same time, you want to have
big list they launched.
Yeah, you want to have a good medium. You want to be able to be like, all right, I forgot. Like, there's so many games that they just went through them so quickly that I forgot was announced. But then you also don't want to have it to where like there's these games, but they spent so much time on one particular genre that now I'm just bored of even like now I'm like unsold on the game. A couple announcements that they had was Fall Guys Season 2 is coming on out there. Disney Speedstorm, Lego's Bricks Tales. The Disney Speedstorm is just a knockoff for Mario Kart. Lego's Bricks Tales.
Are you looking at the same direct list that I am?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this was done today. Yeah, Lego's Bricks Tales, Romancing Saga, Minstrel Song Remastered, Life is Strange Arcadia Bay Collection. They had announced that today.
Are you really sure? Because I'm not seeing any of that.
100%. That was. Yeah, they definitely, because I saw the actual direct. They did go ahead.
And I was watching that too. Mine started off with Fire Emblem Engage.
Oh, I'm reading it backwards. Like they don't have it in order. It's literally because because right here they have next is the Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. But that was the last thing that they showed. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm getting confused here. I'm like, what is he freaking doing here?
Yeah, I'm just throwing all the games that were like actually there. So yeah, Tears of the Kingdom, which is a solid name. That's definitely a solid name. I like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom, which is Breath of the Wild 2 technically. Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe, Tales of Symphonia Remastered, Endless Dungeon, Radiant Silvergun. Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion, so just re-announcing that. Sifu is coming to Nintendo Switch. They did announce that. Following games are coming to Nintendo Switch, which is Resident Evil 2, 3, 7, Biohazard, and Village. That's all coming to Switch.
Cloud versions are coming to Switch. Yeah.
Master Detective Archives Raincode. That's coming to Switch. That's a newer one. Bayonetta 3 trailer. Harvestella demo. But Harvestella's coming to Switch. They announced that. Just Dance 2023 edition. Pikmin 4. Getting that. Pikmin 4 officially announced. Nintendo Switch Sports free golf update. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Boosters Course Pass Wave 3. Atelier Ryza 3, Alchemist of the End and Secret Key. New Mario Strikers Battle League update. IB. Factorio. Various Day Life. These games right here that I'm about to list are all coming to the PlayStation Plus. Nintendo Switch expansion. And that's Pilot Wing 64, Mario Party 1, 2, 3, Pokemon Stadium, which that's a big one. 1 and 2, 1080 Snowboarding, Excite Bike 64, GoldenEye 007. And a little nod there, the GoldenEye 007 is also coming to Game Pass, the remastered version, not just the port like this one's going to be. Rune Factor 3 Special, Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope, Theatrhythm, Final Bar Line, which is actually Final Fantasy mainly focused. You can have other songs in there too as well, but it's pretty much like a Beat Saber. Yeah, it's a rhythm game.
It's a rhythm game for Final Fantasy songs.
Yeah. Fae Farm, Octopath Traveler 2, Splatoon 3 Splatfest announcement, Story of Seasons: A Wonderful Life, Front Missions Remake, Tunic, Oddballers, Fitness Boxing of the North Star. So literally the Fist of the North Star, and you're just literally fighting, just kind of doing some exercise.
Fist of the North Star? Oh my god.
Yeah. SpongeBob SquarePants, the Cosmic Shake, Xenoblade Chronicles 3 Expansion Pass Volume 2, Fatal Frame Mask of the Lunar Eclipse, It Takes Two is coming to Nintendo Switch. Fire Emblem Engage. And that's it. So I know
a lot of games.
Yeah,
and some of them are ports.
Yeah, and like I said, I know I threw a lot of them out there, but that's exactly what my thing was. Is that when I'm looking through this list, I'm like, what? Like Zelda, that's a 10 out of 10 on a hype level. Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, 10 out of 10 hype level.
Bayonetta 3 as well.
Bayonetta 3 would be up there. I wouldn't say 10 out of 10, but it's definitely up there.
Oh god, Bayonetta 3 has a huge following.
I'm definitely not. So Bayonetta 3 or Legend of Zelda, which was more popular?
Of course, Legend of Zelda, but Bayonetta.
Legend of Zelda's been alive for so long. It's got a huge cult following. But the fact that Bayonetta came out,
who would win in a wrestling match? You're 30-year-old Stone Cold Steve Austin or an 8-year-old?
But even
come on now.
But I would definitely say though, it's got a good enough following that I definitely would say it.
Yeah.
If you were to list the two, it'd be definitely first would be Legend of Zelda, but then second would definitely be Bayonetta 3.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that Bayonetta 3 is not up there. That's not what I'm saying at all.
I'd say it'd be a 9 out of 10 hype factor.
I would say 8, 9 out of 10, probably closer to the 8 to be honest with you.
Do I hear Sony Pody saying 7 out of 10?
Alta Rizza. I keep seeing this game.
Alta
Rizza, and it's on sale right now.
It's on Steam, right?
Yeah, on sale. I keep seeing it a lot.
What is?
Alteria Rise.
Oh yeah. I've been seeing it a bit too as well.
Yeah, it feels like it kind of is like
I have it on my list to check out. I just ain't bought it.
I'm not gonna say equal to the Tales of Sympathy's game, but kind of like almost like it's trying to.
You think it's like a AA?
It's kind of like seems like it's something that's trying to mirror maybe, but it's doing pretty good from what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
So,
but even continuing on with this, we have Crisis Core, which is exciting news, but it's just like we know this. We already have a release date. This trailer that they showed was the same exact trailer that they showed at Square Enix showcase. Literally same exact thing. No additional.
When they announced it at Square Enix, did they announce that it was coming to Switch?
Switch, yeah. They said it's coming to Switch, PC, Xbox Series XS. It's coming. It's literally coming everywhere. So it's
okay, that I don't pay attention to. You guys know, so I didn't know that. So yeah, no, that's definitely a weird one to rehash that out. So.
Yeah, it's just like, I mean, it's a nice reminder, but doesn't need to be at this direct. Sifu, that's a new one. That's cool, but I'm going to be honest with you.
You got it on PlayStation.
Not even that. Even aside from that, when I saw it streaming on the little Switch channel or whatever, Nintendo channel, it looked bad. It did not look good. Like it looked off. And there's actually a couple games that during the stream, you can tell that there's actually comments all over the Nintendo's thing just saying, yeah, it's time for a Nintendo Pro or a new version of Nintendo if the games are going to look like this on the Switch.
Well, yeah, that's definitely a problem, is because you're looking at it, it's pretty much like a handheld, like a Steam Deck in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm pretty sure Steam.
Compare it to Steam Deck.
Now, what I was
Steam Deck.
If you would have let me continue, I was going to say Steam Deck definitely does it way better than them, but I definitely agree that I would definitely say that Switch probably. I don't know if they came out with it first or not, or if Steam tried it. I think did Steam try it beforehand and it failed, and then they brought this one out, a deck system. Or was that a console?
They've been doing a couple consoles. They had a couple
Steam
machines, and that failed. The infamous Steam Link.
I remember that one. Yeah, it's kind of like a Fire Stick, almost like you just plug it into a TV.
You can stream your game. Yeah, it's right here. It's this sexy thing.
Yeah, I remember that. I had a sale for like the ice game when it was.
Yeah, it's like I bought it. It was like $7.
Yeah, you get the whole thing. I was gonna get it, but I didn't. But Steam Deck definitely is doing a lot better. But we've always kind of seen
you
this.
Can stream. You can play your games from your Steam onto your TV by that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what you do is you just hook it up, and you can get like a multi-connector or something, and just connect it. And you can just connect to your thing, and it upgrades it automatically to like your 4K. TV's resolution. Yeah. I forgot what they call it, but it ups the resolution to it.
Yeah. So I mean, what I was trying to say though is like Steam Deck definitely does a lot better. So I'm definitely agreeing that Nintendo needs to get their technological assets together. Nineball, when we have to fax them complaints, something's wrong automatically. All right.
I agree.
So I'm not saying that they're bad. I'm just saying it's like
they just lost his pager.
It's like the kid that we got left behind on the bus. He's having to run to catch up.
He's still at the Renaissance Festival.
Yeah.
Playing his Game Boy. Don't get me wrong, like the games that they're bringing definitely look interesting. Some of them though, like the concepts like of the survival harvesting and just that sort of thing like that I like to play. I prefer on my PC because they've got a lot more specs with it and all. So I don't know if those are gonna port over. If not, I may get one or two of them because I definitely am interested in that. But this listing definitely is very like it's the same thing, like you said at the very beginning, Malachi. It's very targeted to their audiences. The people who like these games and like to play them on the Switch and all. So
like if this was a showcase last year and I didn't have a Switch and I saw this, there'd be very, 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 very few things in here that would make me be like, oh, I gotta get a Switch now, like that.
Oh, I gotta get a Switch now.
Yeah, of course you would. Well, troller. Go back to your bridge, you troll.
Hey. Pikmin 4. That's the biggest reason they get one.
That's on the same. That's on the same level as Bug Snacks for me.
I still have not. I gotta watch this direct. I'll probably gonna watch it afterwards. There's a couple of games. I'm looking at the list myself, and I'm seeing a couple of games that look interesting. Of course, Zelda, Fire Emblem, Fatal Frame.
No. Again, I just full disclosure. I'm not saying that Nintendo Direct had no games because even right now, I might be in the minority here. But the Harvestella demo looks interesting to me.
Oh no, that's the one that definitely piqued. That's one that piqued my interest because it's definitely got that. It's kind of got a Craftopia feel-ish to it in terms of like you've got harvest, like you're creating your own stuff, you're harvesting things and all, but you're still going out and fighting bosses and everything, and doing dungeon runs. It feels like so. Yeah. That's got a nice mixture. Like I said, Craftopia kind of does that. So it's really. That one definitely piqued me. Now that you got like some of the lighter ones, like I think Rune Factory definitely has combat in it, but it's more of like chibi top-down style, which definitely would probably not be up your alley, Malachi. I know you, like you said, he's got those references. Fae Farm looked interesting, but that was me. Along with Stories of Seasons, A Wonderful Life. They're definitely very kind of like calmish, relaxed, kind of like slice of life farming sims in a way. So I kind of like those games. But if you're looking for action with that, definitely Rune Factory, or if you like the 3D action, the Harvestella definitely looks good for sure.
Yeah, and that's again like, and I know that this is where me and Silent we're butting heads a lot on because again when we rated it, like he rated this a 9 out of 10 showcase for the Nintendo Switch or Nintendo.
I haven't even seen it. It looks like a 10 out of 10 automatically.
Of course. I went ahead and rated it as like, honestly, I rated it a 4 out of 10, and that was me being nice. And that was because like of the games that was out here in the announcements, there's a couple of them, like even including the expansion. I think Mario Party 1 through 3, the N64 version of those, I think that's big for those audience. For me, I like playing Mario Party, like the newer ones with y'all when we went and did it at your house there, Mildewey. Pokemon Stadium, that one's a big one for me. Pokemon Stadium 2, that one's a big one for me. GoldenEye was a big one for me, but then when they had announced that's on Game Pass, then it's just like, all right, and it's the remaster version, so it's the better version already, and they went ahead and promoted online like that's a big thing, and it is, and it should be. The problem is that Nintendo's online is already super finicky, that if I had to choose between Nintendo's online and Xbox's online, I'm going with Xbox's. Like that's kind of, yes, 1,000%. And so like I'm again just scrolling through this, I'm like, how in the world would you consider this a 9 out of 10? Again, it's because it comes down to preference. If these games all speak to you, power to you. I'm happy for you. I think that in my mind, the general public would be like, this was fine.
I give it a 6 out of 10. There's definitely some games in here that are really speaking to me. A lot of good ones in there. I'm seeing a couple of add-on exclusion adjustments, which to be honest, it feels like that's something Nintendo just is going to be doing from now on with a lot of their games, like just doing free updates, which is fine. As long as it's a free update, I'm okay with it. It doesn't really affect me too much. A lot of these games, like the Altair Ryza, Harvestella, Fae Farm, Rune Factory, the Splatoon Splatterfest was a nice announcement. I definitely want to play the Splatoon game, so I'm still waiting for that to come out. Stories of Seasons, Wonderful Life. Front Mission was one that they announced. I do like the Front Mission games. The fact that they're bringing back the old tactical chessboard setup for the remakes is pretty cool. So I'm kind of really interested to see more of that. Tuning on Switch, it doesn't really affect me too much, but it does like say, if I want to play a Portal, like if I want to play it on the go, I could get it there because I do have a Switch. I don't have a Steam Deck, but 9Ball probably just like, I'll just get it on the Steam Deck because he's got that. The Xenoblade, didn't do too much. I haven't delved too much into that, even though I want to. Same thing with Fire Emblem. Never really got too heavy into those series. The Breath of the Wild 2 definitely is really good. Like I barely played through the first one of the Tears of the Kingdom. For Breath of the Wild, but it's a large open area. Like I think that's one that you might like, Malachi, because it's a large open exploration, a lot of combat. A lot of story events, everything, side quests, and all. So that one might be up your alley. So maybe give it a look if you can. That's just me.
Yeah. Well, and even I just went ahead and went through the list again, just of all the games that were announced on here. And when I'm looking at it, literally, there's only like 5 games, really 6, but 5 games that was that will be like, okay, that should be here. That's dope. I appreciate it being here. I can't wait to play that. And a couple of those games are the actual expansions, Like that's again Pokemon 1 or Pokemon Stadium 1 and 2. That excited me because it's on there, and if I wanted to get into that ecosystem, I could. But that's kind of where I'm at. It's just like when I look at this list and there's more of like I don't cares or it's not for me. That's when I start. That's why it affects the ratings for me.
Well, you know what I mean? Like you said, it's just because Nintendo doesn't have a lot that speaks to you. You know.
Yeah. And that's the, and
if I could break it down, PlayStation's definitely been mainly heavy in RPGs, JRPGs from the beginning. Xbox came out hardcore into the shooters. Now they definitely did get some JRPGs on there because they were trying to cross over with PlayStation, but right now if they've got any, it's mainly just because they've released across multiple consoles. Nintendo's always been kind of that fun family interaction with some of the they bring in some of the more like mature games, like shooting like front missions. They try to bring in Call of Duty. You've got Bayonetta on them mainly, but mainly a lot of their stuff is Mario, Kirby is the biggest thing. Zelda is one of the biggest ones too. Pokemon, Metroid Prime, Pikmin. So games that have either a good bit of fighting in, but not like what we're used to with like look at this PlayStation State of Play. Like look at the the Rise of Ronin. Like you're talking blood gory style versus
that's kids appropriate. I'm just kidding.
Well, in this day and age, it might as well be.
I know, right? Ridiculous.
Parents like, what race is it? Teen. All right, whatever.
All right.
So,
T stands for that's fine.
Just don't hit your sister with it, whatever. So they are very preferential a lot of times, and it depends upon what's on there. Like as we all know, Malachi, it doesn't speak to him. Me though, like I played a lot of Nintendo growing up. That was like my first system. So a lot of these games definitely do kind of speak to me in a way. Although, am I going to say they're all like first buys? Drop it right now and go? Heck no. And I'm actually kind of concerned about those. About the Pokemon and Mario games and all, because I didn't hear. Did they fix that issue with the save port?
I think they did. I think they actually did go and fix that, yeah.
Because that was one of my biggest concerns. I'm like, I love the fact that they're bringing those on, but
yeah, I will say now, here's one thing
that's a big problem.
Here's one thing I do want to say about so it'd be one thing if Nintendo was always like this lackluster, I will say. I know that's a very strong term, but I would say if they're always like that, then that'd be one thing I probably wouldn't be feeling the way that I'm feeling. The problem is that they weren't. GameCube, they had some banger games on GameCube. They definitely, again, Bloody Roar in general, Primal was on GameCube. I loved that game. There was also the Naruto Ninja Shinobi Striker games that was on GameCube, and I played that. Phantasy Star Online, episode 1 and 2. That was also on GameCube. I absolutely adored that. And they also had the Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles. That was first on GameCube. So like they definitely had the potential of having stuff like that. And I know that they had shifted their focus and direction differently around the Wii U era. That's when it started getting more inside all right, well, we're just going to have it be catering towards kids because they're the ones that's like playing our stuff or whatever. Or all right, we're going to go ahead and cater nostalgic because nostalgic sells. And for a time period, that's cool, and I understand that, and I get why that was doing that. But now it's just like, let's go ahead and move forward with technology, and they don't have that's the problem. They don't have to because we're still buying this content. It's literally just like how GTA, for the longest time, they would never come out with GTA 6 because they're just milking that cow. GTA 5 is a PS3 game. Why are we just now potentially getting the information about GTA 6?
Oh, it's because they did a lot. What they did was they did a lot of online updates and upgrades. That's where they started.
And that's where this is coming from. This is the same equivalent to that. What they're doing is that they're just giving you software that's just.
But GTA though is a game company, but they did evolve it across into 4 and up to 5 now. Like so, they have been changing with the software. So they've been changing with the console systems and the hardware to be able to take advantage of those. Nintendo, yes, they definitely went far with the Switch to have a portable device for the kids. Helps out those parents. Gets the kids something like during COVID. Like dear God, like that's Switches went up like to get a Switch, it was like a fight. It's kind of like it was as bad as trying to get a PS5 from all the scalpers. And people weren't scalping them. It was just parents bought them all out because they're like, here, play this and shut up and leave me alone so I can work. But I definitely agree. There was a lot of good games on GameCube system that we want. Like, I'm still waiting for news on Metroid Prime 4. Like, dear God, they threw it at us, just a tighter thing, and that's it. And I haven't heard a thing. Like, that hurts me when they don't bring out like a lot of games. And like one of the games I definitely wish they kind of would make a sequel to is Custom Robo. Like, that was a fun game. Me and my brother like played that hardcore throughout the time. Like, just so much fun of like just going through playing as your person, getting all these parts, making your robots, and just doing those fights and all. It had a good story too. Like, even for as limited as it was a very good story. So it made me sad when they didn't keep going on that one, when I didn't hear anything about that further. So yeah, I agree that they're definitely doing a lot more ports, and we're not seeing a lot of like original IPs. We're seeing like continuations of series for sure. So I don't know if they're struggling with that, or the companies that are making for it are struggling with it because of the technology that is being offered. Because you gotta look at what was on the GameCube was like literally a cube, like a box, like a little mini like computer PC type of situation. Now we've got these thin things, So that could be an issue. I'm not a big person on the whole high-end situation and everything with the in-depth and going on Nintendo, so I'm all just speculating here, guys. Don't take my word as the gospel or anything. Please do not. But I feel like if Nintendo did step up and definitely went with a Pro and increased the capabilities, because we got laptops that are damn good now, that they can run a lot of good shit on and can do like Steam games at like not like 4K capabilities, but still doing it to where it's like, this is damn good. If they've got that capability, you can definitely, Nintendo, get some of that stuff, put it into a handheld, and say, let's go. So there's room for evolving. And I feel like the step up with Switch was definitely probably like a big step up, especially comparative to what they did with the Wii U, which was So I feel like they're trying, but I don't think I've heard anything on the trying anymore. So I don't know what they're doing. They could be milking it, like you said. They could be milking it, trying to get as much as they can to where they can do the try. I don't know. So we're just gonna have to wait and see. The biggest thing that recently I've heard that's kind of an odd movement from them was when they were shutting down the eStore for 3DSs.
Yeah.
So the 3DS Nintendo eStore is being shut down, and then people are like, "Well, we're still trying to pay you for these games." So I'm like, no.
Well, that's the thing. That's what they're going to force you to come on over to the Switch, which is this thing that they're just very complacent with, and then they're going to start rolling out 3DS style games to the little subscription service that they have, and then now you're just like, you want to play these games now? You have to buy yourself a Switch. And we're selling this out like left and right. We're hitting these numbers. That's the thing, is that I think that when Switch came out in 2015, I don't think it's necessarily that they're having struggles to keep up with the tech or anything like that. I genuinely don't think they care. I think because, again, people are buying the Switches, they're buying the software. If it's not fixed, if it's not broke, don't fix it type of scenario. Like, that's the attitude they have. They're going to give you the bare minimum while cranking out the money from you left and right, keep you coming back for more of that. And it's just like they're not making any attempt to push the technology. Like, you can tell because Sifu, which is a PS5 game, and came over to the Switch and it looks like trash. The technology that is there is not able to hang with Sifu, which is not even a high quality game. It really isn't. It's just like they flat out just don't care. And until
they care,
they don't. They really don't. If they care, they would have came out with a stronger. They came out with the OLED, yes, but it still utilized a majority of what the Switch 7 years ago is still having. Like, they have an OLED screen. Yeah, they just recently They just recently introduced Bluetooth to the Bluetooth.
No, that was beginning of this year, so that wasn't as recent.
Well, I'm just saying in general. Like, it's been out for 7 years. It has the capability of doing that, and you just now brought that to, like, made that available for the Switch.
I'm going to hurt Nintendo here, though, because even though they brought Bluetooth, all that does is just let you hear the game via
That's
Bluetooth.
all it does. There is no game chat.
There is a game chat.
For certain games. There's no party. Yep. You can't make a party.
Last time I checked, it was only 2 games.
You're not helping the case here.
And you have to download an app. You have to download an app on your phone just to.
That is. This is ridiculous. That's what I'm saying. They don't care. They have your money. They don't care, and that's why I'm just like, come on now. Like I used. A couple of directs ago, I got excited to the point where I bought a Switch, which is why I have a Switch. Now, it's just like, what are they doing? Like, I can't get excited for a direct anymore. Like, give me something to get excited about. That's why it's a 4 out of 10 for me.
I need my Metroid
Like I said,
Prime.
I gotta still see it. Like
yeah,
I have
right there. Where is Metroid Prime 4? You are correct. I'm not a Metroid Prime fan. I'm not a Metroid Prime fan, but I feel for my Metroid Prime homies. Where is Samus?
I can't find my rotary phone. Where is it at?
It's probably at Nintendo. It's going to get to you in 34 weeks.
We're sorry.
Yes.
The number you have dialed could not be connected. Please redial.
Please send a messenger pigeon. You know,
if you like to fax us, rotate the star key.
Oh, okay. I figured. Okay, now I know what the problem is. Okay, the paper man didn't deliver the news.
They did. Pony Express.
Paperboy.
But yeah, so there you guys have it.
It was stuck underneath the milk cart delivery. You know?
Ladies and gentlemen, that has been our ALWT reacts. To the state of play,
rant and rage.
Also a little bit of what we reviewed earlier today from the Nintendo Direct. We won't rate the Nintendo Direct because we didn't watch it live. Even though I just already gave you guys my rating, but disregard that. That's not ALWT Gamers rating. That's just Malachi 36 going on.
That is the Malachi.
Yes,
that's the Malachi rating. So you know Malachi's hatred of Nintendo.
I don't hate Nintendo. I just hate that they're not doing what I want them to do. I'm just kidding. Sort of. But this Thursday is the Tokyo Game Show, so we may be reacting to that. We have to see exactly how that's going to go. And then if there's time, we're going to go ahead and try to get a little further inside Iceborne. Otherwise, we're just going to continue on with the Tokyo Game Show and then call it a day. And then next week, we're back to our normal schedule. Next Saturday, pending right now, is our 9 to 5. 9 to 5 for September 2022. I'm Malachi 36. We'll do a carrot. It's the 9 ball. Until next time, everybody, control alts.
Complete.
Completed. Sir.